Yeah, you read that and you wanted some explanation over it. Uh, that message actually, this belongs to chapter violence and non-violence in discourses, but exact its extract I could not find there. But in some other words, of course, because this is the recent edition of the discourses. Originally it was in 5 volumes. I don't know whether this was in that, but its meaning is given in this violence and non-violence. So here Baba first refers to the catchwords. Baba says, man has a tendency to cling to catchwords and to allow his actions to be determined by them almost mechanically without bringing his actions into direct relation with the living perception that these words embody. Here, mechanically interpreting the words and with reference to the direct relation with the living perception that these words embody. So, saying that, Baba says the words violence and non violence are in ordinary reference applicable to such diverse situations in practical life that no exposition of the issues involved can be complete unless it takes note of the diverse situations and use them as a starting point. So the words, mere words, um, cannot be looked at, but their intent, the real intent. So saying Baba has given few instances. After that, I will come to you that the extract, the message that Gopal Reddy he read last week. So here Baba gave 5 situations. One situation is case of a drowning man. A man is drowning in the flood, and a person who wants to save him, if he goes and tries to save him and drag him from the water, the drowning man catch holds of this saver in such a way that both will drown. So Baba said that what the saving person does in those situations is he hits on the head of the man, drowning man, so that he becomes unconscious. Then he can very safely bring him out of water. So here Baba coined a new term and says, he says, this cannot be looked upon as violence. It is, Baba says, non-violent violence. It's not violence, but it is non-violent violence because there is a fact of violence. He is hitting, and that man is becoming unconscious only for ultimate good. The second situation Baba took is surgery. A doctor, a surgeon who cuts part of a living body of man. Um, Here he will take consent also here, but here also he is um, acting in a violent way. Cutting part of a living body is a violent, but it is in ultimate good of him and not him, but also others. So here also Baba says this violence cannot be looked upon because this everybody will understand. Every ordinary man also will understand that even though it is a violence, it cannot be looked upon as violence. So here also for this Baba says it is non-violent violence. So then case of an aggressive nation, Baba took example of that, and that also Baba termed as non-violent violence. uh, Aggressive nation. A nation, strong nation attacks a weaker nation. We see now today Ukraine and Russia. Russia is an aggressive nation, and Ukraine, when compared to Russia, it is a weak nation. So America coming to the rescue of this weaker nation here. If here America has not directly involved in war and fighting Russia, but even if they fight the nation, aggressive nation, and kill their army, here there is violence, but it cannot be looked upon as violence. Baba says non-violent violence. And the extract that Gopal read last week, that is relevant in this context, this aggressive nations context. So here that message says aggression must be met with resistance. So here aggression means somebody, some strong nation is attacking a weaker nation. So that aggression must be met with resistance. They need not surrender, nor they need not keep non-violent. When violence is used against him, a person or a nation, he need not bear it silently. So Baba says aggression must be met with resistance, and non-violence of the brave is possible only for advanced souls who have through rigorous discipline eradicated from their minds all forms of greed and hate. So here Baba has brought a new word here, non-violence of the brave. So there are two terms Baba used in this chapter of discourse: non-violence of the brave, non-violence of a coward. So always non-violence of the brave is he is strong enough to resist, but he will not. Baba says this is possible only for advanced souls who have through rigorous discipline eradicated from their minds all forms of greed and hate. So this strong means here one who is not greedy, who has no hatred. So the he is called strong man in spiritual terms, and this non-violence of the brave is possible only to advanced souls. Here, once when Baba was in Iran, a person who was against Baba, who did not relish the claim of Baba that he is the avatar, he came to Baba with a pistol in order to kill him. But when he saw Baba, Baba did not use any violence, but that man came to violently kill Meher Baba. So when he came before Baba, Baba just smiled at him. He forgot about the pistol, about his intention, everything he forgot and fell at Baba's feet. So remaining non-violent when a person is coming to indulge in violence, it is possible only to such advanced souls because they can change their mind and heart. Many instances, Baba, in Italy, a professor came, he asked many questions, and then Norina, she called that professor, and she was a little bit disappointed why she has called him. And she, after 45 minutes of interview, he raises and says, "Oh, what is there? Everything I have read, and what new thing your Baba has said." Almost dissatisfactorily, he was preparing to go out. Then Baba took his hand and looked straight into his eyes for a moment, that's all. And the person became like uh, uh, a lion becoming like cat. And then he prostrated before Baba and said, "Baba, this is yours. Take this and use this. body and mind for you in whatever manner you want. Within a moment, he became so humble and surrendered to Baba. So that is possible. Non-violence of the brave. They can use even violence also, but they don't use who are spiritually advanced. It is not possible for ordinary human beings. So here Baba says, but so far as people in general are concerned, it is undesirable to ask them to observe external formula of non-violence when it is the clear duty to resist aggression in self-defense or in the defense of weaker brothers. Here, two situations: defense of self and defense of a weaker man. In these situations, in the worldly, ordinary situation, ordinary human beings, they cannot be asked to practice non-violence and keep um, without resistance. So he says it is undesirable. Baba says for people in general, but so far as people in general are concerned, it is undesirable to ask them to observe external formula of non-violence. Baba in the beginning only said catchword. Non-violence is a catchword, and everybody will say everyone must be not violent but non-violent. But in this situation, he cannot be asked to be non-violent when it is the duty, because duty is cast upon him to resist the aggression or self-defense. When someone is attacking us, we have to put some resistance and save ourselves, self-defense. This is in case of ordinary um, people, people in general. So then Baba says, general insistence upon non-violence can only lead to people becoming cowardly, irresponsible, and inert, putting the responsibility upon others. Here, what happens if general people in general are insisted upon keeping non-violence when there is a duty cast upon themselves to resist and put some defense, it will make people, Baba says, cowardly. They will become cowards and irresponsible. Yes, and we know in Mahabharata, um, when Arjuna, he said, "Oh, why should I kill all of them?" And he wanted to get down from the chariot and go back. Then Lord Krishna has to tell him, teach him what was his duty cast upon. So here, uh, he had become coward. A duty was cast upon himself. There were army on two sides, and they were to fight. And when a person says, "No, no, no, I will not fight. Why should I fight and kill so many people?" Then he is becoming a coward and irresponsible. So Baba says, you cannot ask people to become cowards or irresponsible and inert, putting the responsibility upon others. So the responsibility cast upon him then goes to others to do that work on his behalf. So that is not a desirable thing. So here in this chapter, violence and non-violence, Baba has explained all this, and this case of aggressive nation, Baba explained, and in that connection only this paragraph has come, but exactly in the same order or in same, but these are Baba gave a um, aggressor nation. About that Baba uh, and he has compared this surgery and also that also situation 3 in these courses, that was, here the fighting involves offering resistance to aggression. with no selfish motive or personal interest, but solely with the purpose of defending the weaker nation. This may inflict much injury and even destruction upon the aggressor nation. And the use of force is not only without its prior consent, but against its deliberate and conscious will. Even in this situation, we do not have a clear case of violence, even though so much of amount of violence is given in resistance. Baba says, even in this situation we do not have a clear case of violence. In spite of the injury and harm involved, the application of force is not only for the good of the weaker nation which is the victim, but in a very important in the sense it is also for the good of the aggressor nation itself, to teach them the lesson that what they are doing is wrong. So even that helps them, the aggressor nation also, because through the resistance encountered to its aggression, it is gradually cured of its spiritual weakness or disease of having a tendency to invade and exploit weaker nations. This violence is really not violent, and so it is called non-violent violence. Baba has coined this new term, non-violent violence. And I remember once in a competitive examination conducted by APPSC, there was one paper, only one essay to be written in 3 hours. It had 150 marks. I wrote taking this Baba's examples and this thing. I remember I scored 120 marks against 150 for this essay. I wrote 15 pages only in 2 hours, 1 hour before I finished, but I got the maximum marks. So this situation Gopal has projected last time. Um, did it answer, Gopal?
Yes, sir. Yes, yeah, yes, sir. Definitely. The
Okay.
examples you gave are really,
Yes.
really so.
Baba.
Yeah.
Mm, Baba has given another example also, mad dog, killing a mad dog. Even though it is violence, it can also be termed as non-violent violence, Baba said. Okay. Jai Baba.